What is up everybody, Heart and here, bringing you guys Bloons TD Battles Flash Road to Perfection. Yes, I have not played Bloons TD Battles Flash in a really long time. I think it's been 6 weeks now. I don't even know how long it's been since I played. But yeah, I haven't played Battles Flash in a really long time. And that probably means I'm not that good at it anymore because of Rust. But then again, in Assault mode, chances are that you won't even find really good players. So Rust isn't a huge deal in Road to Perfection. But you know, Road to Perfection, it depends on on luck on which players you find, because you might find really good players and then someone else might find only really bad players. So if you find really good players, chances are that you'll lose earlier on. So yes, this series does depend on luck, but you know, I'm just still doing it because why not? So here we are in the first game. I'm against not Noto Jedi, not something, I can't read that name, but someone who on Yin Yang, and I choose to go for a farm strategy. Not sure why I did that, because I rarely ever use farms on Yin Yang, even though it's a pretty viable strategy, but I just tend to not use it because I'm not that great at it. But I just did it because why not? But unfortunately, I haven't even practiced this strategy basically ever, so I'm down to 71 lives really early on. That's not a huge deal, but if one ceramic goes through my defense, I'm dead. So I do have to watch out just a little bit. So it's round 12 and I get up my mortar, and my opponent doesn't have, oh no, my opponent does have camel lead popping power, but he might struggle against regen rainbows. Maybe not, but because he got that destroyer up, I just choose not to rush him at all. So both of us have pretty good defenses. I'm sort of relying on my ninja monkey a little too much to defend round 15 ceramics, but luckily he doesn't send any, so I don't have to worry on luck too much. Because if my opponent sent at least 5 to 10 ceramics, I would probably be dead unless I sold my farm to get a Bloonjitsu and a few taxpayers, maybe another ninja. But yeah, 1-3-2 ninja on Yin Yang can't solo ceramics unless you're really lucky, which you really have to be extremely lucky to defend all the ceramics. But as you can see, I could only fit 5 farms. I couldn't fit anything else. I'm pretty sure you can fit 7 on this map, maybe even 8, but I just placed them in pretty bad spots, so I couldn't fit more than 5. So I just upgraded one of my farms to 3-0, and I decided to rush my opponent on round 22. So I sent a Zeo MG, and he might actually be able to defend this if he uses sabotage correctly, and he has Moa Maulers. So if he just got up a sabotage and used Moa Maulers and then used the boat ability to take down the BFVs, he would have defended that, but unfortunately he died to the natural Moab. Unfortunate, but that's a win. So next game is Mondrian, and I go for attack shooter strategy on this map. Now usually I go for farms on this map, but you know, once again I just decided to do something out of the ordinary and try attack shooters, because you know, I've been watching I've been watching a few videos lately, and I see that attack shooter can work pretty well if you can use it correctly. So I just decided that I might as well try it out, and I don't think I played too well with it, but for a first try it wasn't horrible, but then again it wasn't great either. So at the start I'm just using bomb tower, but my opponent sends pink balloons against me, and I'm losing lives, but my opponent is down to 20 lives. So on round 6, if I send blacks, then he'll probably die. So that's exactly what I do. I send some blacks, and my opponent does not die because he gets up that lightning wizard. But on round 8, with yellows, regen whites, regen blacks, all those combined can do really major damage against my opponent. So I send some yellows, but that actually doesn't do anything. I chose not to send the regen blacks and regen whites because I need to get income because I don't have any farms. So my opponent sent some regen whites against me, and that surprisingly did quite a bit of damage. And now the natural blacks come out, and that damaged me too. So I'm slowly losing lives to both the sent balloons and the natural balloons. I sell my ninjas in case I need to get a ring of fire, and my opponent chooses not to rush me on round 13. So what I do instead of getting up a ring of fire is setting a huge camel regen rush against my opponent, and my opponent dies to that. So now I'm on Temple against, I believe this is the same opponent. Yes, I think it's the same opponent if I remember correctly. But yeah, I actually don't remember. I don't remember who I played the last game. But yeah, this time I go for my regular strategy, just the typical ninja, bomb, mortar, and farm, which is a pretty good strategy on Temple as long as you can use it correctly. I know some other people like to use strategies like ice tack mortar farm or dart monkey ice farm, something like that. And I think there's even one strategy involving dartling guns or something. But yeah, I'm just going for my regular strategy, which is pretty good, but you know, there are flaws to every strategy, so you really have to watch out. Anyway, my opponent got up his ring of fire really early. I think he got up around 4 or something. But yeah, he got up really early on the top there. Now, I don't think that's the best spot to put the ring of fire. I think it's better to put it down on the bottom, sort of where my ninja is. But, you know, that spot works too for him, I guess. Now, I got up my ninja on the top right there, if you can see it, to defend against blacks and whites, which it is doing pretty well. I've only lost a few lives so far. But for round 10, I do need a 0-2 mortar to defend against regen Zeds, because those can do a lot of damage really quickly. So I get up my second bomb shooter because the bomb shooters really help against regen rainbows, and just one bomb shooter alone can't fully defend against regen rainbows. But I send once again camo regen balloons, and those take down my opponent once again. So now we're on A game, which is actually a pretty awkward map because there's not many spots for towers that shoot in straight lines. There's not many spots for curves where you can put rings of fire and ice towers. So it's a pretty awkward map in general. But a lot of players actually practice this map a lot, so there are some pretty good strategies for this map. So I just start with the regular attack shooter strategy in that spot, which should defend just fine until round 4. But in round 4, just in case your opponent sends pinks, you do need to get up a ninja and upgrade that to 2-1. But if your opponent doesn't send too many pinks, you don't really need to get that much. Now I'm just harassing my opponent by sending blues and pinks, and he just gave up and he surrendered. So that's a win right there. Now we're back on Mondrian, and once again I decided to use attack shooter strategy because I just wanted to try it out. The previous game I actually didn't get up my attack shooter because my opponent died before I got up the ring of fire. But I'm just trying it again to see if I can make it work. Now my opponent is actually starting with the attack shooter, but I wouldn't say that's the optimal spot for it. I know that in that spot the attack shooter can attack both the natural balloons and the scent balloons, but I feel like the ring of fire isn't exactly necessary to defend against natural balloons because natural balloons are pretty weak. I mean, Moabs don't come until round 23, ceramics don't come out until round 20, so you really don't need too much defense for the natural balloons. So what I would do is put the ring of fire directly under that, and there it will flourish against the scent balloons, and it will help a little bit against the natural balloons, which is basically what you want. You need to focus more on the scent balloons than the natural balloons. So I'm just going for a typical strategy here, the regular bomb tower, getting up a ninja around 6 to defend blacks and whites, and then getting up a mortar around 10 to defend against blacks and reds. And that's basically the simple strategy. I sent some camo leads and I layered that with camo rainbows, and that completely took down my opponent because he only had the ring of fire which can't detect camo at all. So that just easily took down my opponent. Now on Snowy Castle I was looking around for the ice tower because I know that the ice tower strategy is actually a pretty good strategy that's been used recently in King of the Hill, but I actually did not have ice towers unlocked on this account yet, which I was pretty surprised about. I thought I'd unlocked it, but apparently I had not, so I have to go for a regular strategy. Actually my regular strategy would involve farms on this map, but I just decided that, you know, I might as well just not go farms because, I mean, I don't even know why I didn't go farms, but you know, for me, I think I play equally well on this map with farms or without, so it doesn't really matter. Because I'm not that great at sending attacks with farms on this map, I'm not great at defending on this map. So, yeah, either way for me, it's basically the exact same result. So, for round 8, I actually do not have enough money to get up a ring of fire in time. Luckily, my opponent didn't send too many yellows against me, and I got it one round late. I sent a lot of yellow balloons, and the yellow balloons actually end up killing my opponent. I did not expect that. I thought that my opponent would actually defend that, but apparently 2 ninjas aren't enough to defend. So if you saw there, I did unlock the ice tower there. So I have the ice tower now, but I actually wanted to try it out earlier on. Now anyway, my opponent asks if I'm a hacker or a really good player, and to be honest, I'm going to say neither. I'm not a hacker, and I'm definitely not a really good player compared to the best players in the world, but I will say compared to most other big YouTubers, I mean, I'm not big either, but I mean compared to players like Master Off or something, I'm not really, I'm pretty good compared to them, but that's not really saying much, no offense to them, but yeah. But I sneak in a little advertisement there saying check out my channel to see if I'm a hacker or not. and he went there, and unfortunately he actually lost because he went on my channel while the game was still going on. I actually felt a little bit bad about that. If I knew that he was on my channel and not paying attention to the game, I wouldn't have rushed him, but I didn't know that, so I rushed him, and I ended up winning around 6 with black Bloons. So this time my opponent is going for almost the exact same strategy as me. Both of us have the cluster bomb, but he doesn't have that extra ninja. Well, I do, just to be safe, because, you know, I just keep it there because why not? Actually, in quick battles, I probably don't even need that extra ninja, because people usually get that ninja only for King of the Hill, which where lives pretty much matter on this map, because the games usually go to round 40 on this map. But I just got it because why not? Now, I actually have more farms than my opponent right now, and I have a somewhat better defense, although they're almost the exact same, and I have more lives. So I think overall, I have an advantage over my opponent in basically every aspect. So I sent some regen leads against my opponent. That will completely take him down. That was what I was talking about earlier. You need a Bernie stuff mortar to defend against leads on round 10, because if you don't, just a ninja and a cluster bomb, that won't do you any good. And my opponent just surrendered right away on interpolus, and I actually faced the same person again on rally the next game. I'm 69-0. You guys can laugh, 69-0, whatever, have fun saying in the comments, OMG 69, ha 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 ha. Yeah, you can say that, whatever, I don't care. But yeah, my opponent in surrender on indoor pools. I don't know why he did that, but now I faced him again on rally. This time he doesn't surrender, which I'm not sure why, but well, I'm not sure why he surrendered in the first place, so I'm not sure about anything. So we're on rally. Both of us have basically identical strategies, except he upgraded his bomb tower to 3-2 while I only upgraded to 3-0. Now he's using the Buccaneer to defend against round 6 blacks, but I just get up a regular ninja. That should do pretty well. But actually a lot of black Bloons sneak through, so I had to get up a second ninja. So now our defenses are almost the same. He has 2 Buccaneers, I have 2 ninjas, we both have 1 bomb tower each. So yeah, it's basically the exact same. But he's just rushing with blacks and regen white, while I'm just getting at my income. So overall, I do have an advantage over him in income. So if we go later on in the game, I will have a major advantage over him in money. So it's round 12. He sent some lead balloons, actually camel leads. Those won't do anything. So what do? I just send not yet, but he actually sent some regen rainbows against me. I'm not even sure what that was, but he has almost no defense, so I just sent a camel regen rainbow rush. It's camel regen zero rush, I think. But yeah, that is it. I'm now 70-0. So that is it for this episode of Road to Perfection on Bloons TD Battles Flash. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and have an awesome day.